Premier League, why do the world's best footballers move elsewhere? Published Had Vinicius Jr. joined Arsenal, he would have been a rarity as a genuine global superstar, moving to the Premier League at the height of his powers. The Gunners were prepared to make the Brazil forward their primary target should he decide to leave Real Madrid, and the 26-year-old was open to the possibility. But he has now signed a new contract at the Bernabeu until 2032. It is another reminder of a curious contradiction. Premier League clubs have unrivaled collective spending power, and England's top flight is widely regarded as the strongest domestic competition in world football. But attracting established Ballon d'Or contenders has proved difficult.
Tired of spending forever chopping vegetables? This all-in-one prep tool dices and spiralizes ingredients directly into a handy container, helping make salads, sides, and meal prep faster and less messy. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/2 right now.
They have little difficulty attracting and retaining elite center-backs and goalkeepers, but the scarcity is more obvious further forward, where the most coveted attackers and attacking midfielders still often choose elsewhere. The Premier League makes superstars, but rarely imports them. Since the Premier League began in 1992, only 3 players have won the men's Ballon d'Or while representing an English top-flight club. Liverpool's Michael Owen in 2001, Manchester United's Cristiano Ronaldo in 2008, and Manchester City's Rodri in 2024. What England has been exceptionally good at is providing the environment in which elite talents become global stars. Dennis Bergkamp arrived at Arsenal after a difficult spell at Inter Milan and became one of the Premier League's most influential players. Eric Cantona had already shown flashes of his talent in France and at Leeds before becoming the emblem of Manchester United's first great Premier League side. Thierry Henry arrived in North London after an underwhelming spell at Juventus, before developing into one of his generation's outstanding forwards. Ronaldo joined United as an exciting 18-year-old from Sporting, won the Ballon d'Or 5 years later, then signed for Real Madrid the following summer. Erling Haaland is perhaps the clearest recent example. Already one of Europe's most coveted young forwards, when Manchester City signed him from Borussia Dortmund in 2022, Haaland had yet to reach the level he has in England. That is different from signing a player such as Vinicius after he has already won multiple Champions Leagues and established himself among the world's most recognizable footballers. There have been exceptions, but many of the biggest names arrived after their peak. The clearest comparison to Vinicius is Andriy Shevchenko, who joined Chelsea from AC Milan in 2006 at the age of 29. He had won the Ballon d'Or only 2 years earlier and finished 5th in 2005, making him one of the rare established global superstars to move to the Premier League while still close to the height of his career. Other Ballon d'Or winners, such as Ruud Gullit and George Weah, also joined Chelsea, but later in their careers. While Ronaldo returned to United at 36, Zlatan Ibrahimovic arrived at 34, and Jurgen Klinsmann signed for Tottenham at 30. The richest league does not spend like the old Serie A during the 1980s and 1990s. Serie A was both enormously wealthy and the undisputed home of football's biggest stars. Diego Maradona left Barcelona for Napoli. Brazil's Ronaldo moved from Barcelona to Inter at his explosive peak. Michel Platini, Marco van Basten, Lothar Matthaus, and Zinedine Zidane all spent some of the finest years of their careers in Italy. But the Premier League's financial dominance has produced a different transfer market. English clubs spend enormous sums, but it can be distributed across deep squads or on players already proven within the competition. Alexander Isak, Morgan Rogers, Elliot Anderson, Moises Caicedo, Declan Rice, and Jack Grealish have all moved between Premier League clubs for more than £100 m. Others, such as Liverpool's Florian Wirtz, arrive from overseas with enormous reputations, but with their best years potentially still ahead. The model is less about importing one Galactico and more about assembling 1822 elite players capable of surviving a demanding season. When the best have a choice, Spain still has a pull. Real Madrid and Barcelona are difficult for English clubs to compete with when the world's most coveted players become available. Jude Bellingham is a striking example. Having left Birmingham City for Borussia Dortmund to continue his development, the England midfielder moved to Real Madrid rather than back to his home country. He remains the only player to represent England's senior men's team during the Premier League era without making an appearance in the competition. Kylian Mbappé was linked with several clubs elsewhere before fulfilling his ambition of joining Real Madrid, while Neymar chose Barcelona over interest from Premier League teams when leaving Santos in 2013, attracted in part by the chance to play alongside Lionel Messi. Cristiano Ronaldo left Manchester United for Real Madrid a year after winning the Ballon d'Or, while Luis Suarez joined Barcelona months after winning the Premier League Golden Boot and PFA Players' Player of the Year with Liverpool. And Gareth Bale and Eden Hazard swapped London for Madrid after establishing themselves among the Premier League's leading players. Bale joined Real from Tottenham in 2013 after winning the PFA Players' Player of the Year award for a second time, while Hazard made the same move from Chelsea 6 years later, having previously won the league's top individual honor. Harry Kane later departed Tottenham for Bayern Munich despite sitting only 47 goals behind Alan Shearer's Premier League record of 260. There are practical attractions to Spain's climate, lifestyle, and for many South American players, linguistic and cultural familiarity, but the appeal runs deeper. Real Madrid and Barcelona carry a particular status as destination clubs, reinforced by their Champions League history, global reach, and association with individual honors such as the Ballon d'Or. Both have been interested in Rodri this summer. Holland, meanwhile, represents the counterargument. City signed him from Dortmund at 21, and he has developed into one of the world's most feared number 9s. But even his future illustrates the enduring pull of Real Madrid. Speaking to DAZN during the 2026 World Cup, Holland's father Alfie was asked about the prospect of the striker one day moving to the Bernabeu. "He's happy at City, he's got a long contract, but any player wants to play for Real Madrid," he said. "That does not mean a move is imminent, but the sentiment is revealing. England has repeatedly shown it can provide the stage on which superstars are made. Persuading those already at the summit to choose the Premier League, and convincing those who reach it there to stay, remains the harder task."